Hi, this is Stephen Wilson from Blackfield, and you're listening to Morrow.com, the Prog Radio. Enjoy the music. Well, it's very much a continuation of the first one in the kind of style. We've tried to take the blueprint that we created for the first album, a combination of short songs, a lot of acoustic guitars, harmony vocals, piano, orchestral textures. It's a bit more dynamic, it's got a bit more of a kind of rock aspect to it perhaps. And I think the songs are superior, I think the production is a little bit better. So it's really been a case of building on the first album to create something even better. And I think we've achieved that, and most people seem to feel it is a step on from the first album. They're still very self-contained 3 or 4 minute songs. That for me is very important. That's kind of part of the basic concept of Blackfield, is that it's all about focusing on great songwriting and self-contained, concise songwriting. Obviously, as you know, in some of my other projects, tracks can be very long and quite complex and have long instrumental sections, and Blackfield is not about that. Blackfield for me is all about focusing on the art of writing, good songs. Yeah, this album was all created by the same 5 musicians, with 1 or 2 exceptions, but generally speaking, this is the sound of 5 musicians that have been out on tour together and all work very well, gel very well together. Whereas the first album was very, bitty. It was like one musician on one song and then another musician on another song. This time there's a sense of continuity through the record in terms of the lineup playing on the songs. You'll never need to feel this way again. Not really. I don't think either myself or Aviv are very inclined to write optimistic music. And the reason for that is that we're both kind of quite emotional people. Although he shows it in a very different way. Being Israeli, I'm English, so I keep a lot of it inside. But both very emotional people, and we both share this thing, which is that we use the songwriting as a way to exercise and to purge the more kind of negative things from ourselves, like loneliness, melancholia, anger, sadness. Those kind of emotions are in all of us. We all deal with them in different ways. The way myself and Aviv deal with them is through writing songs, and we're not the only. Obviously, we're not the only songwriters to have done that or to do that. A lot of songwriters use their creativity as a way to deal with the more negative side of their psyche, and I think that makes us happier people. That we're able to use the songs. The songs, in a way, are the dark side of our personality. And this album is still quite melancholic, certainly. Lots of songs about breakups of relationships, or loneliness, or alienation. Yes, it's released on April the 12th, I think, in Europe, and we'll be touring. I think we're touring UK first, then we're going to America, and then we'll be coming to Europe probably around June. So this time we're doing America and Europe round the other way, for various reasons, which I won't go into. But yes, it's all finished, and very happy with it. I hope everyone will like it.
Is it very different from the songs you played on the last tour?
No, that was the new record. So no, that is the record. Okay, except for one song. One song we replaced, but the majority of what we played on tour is what we've recorded for the record.
Are there several songs that have been mixed together or melted?
All of them.
All of them?
All of them, yeah. It's one. I mean, in some senses, Porcupine Tree albums have always been a continuous sequence of music, but even more so on this record. For me, it's one 50-minute piece. It's one continuous piece of music. I mean, you can still, you know, in the way that, I don't know, in the way that Sgt. Pepper or Dark Side of the Moon is one continuous piece of music, you can take songs out. You can see there are songs that can be edited out and still stand up, but it's very much conceived as a continuous 50-minute work. I feel at ease to play to many people, but it's hard to play to. Porcupine Tree is very much about the atmosphere and the as you've seen the films that we project, and it is hard to present Porcupine Tree in daylight because you can't create the same atmosphere. But I'm sure that's true of almost any band that play a festival and have to play in daylight. There's definitely an advantage to being able to play in darkness with a light show and projections and all that stuff. But of course the important thing is that you reach people. You reach many more new people when you play festivals. So we're going to be doing a lot more festivals this summer.
You think that it works out to increase your audience?
For sure, yeah. Everything you do potentially increases your audience. The more people you play to, the higher percentage of people will go away, hopefully converted to be Porcupine Tree fans, even if it's only like 2 or 3%. So if you play to 100 people, you might make 2 new fans. If you play to 10,000 people, you make whatever that is, 200 new fans. Yeah. So it's important to try and play as many of the bigger festivals as possible.